Hello and welcome to another Let's Play video. In today's video we'll focus on playing with Norns. These are the main attraction of the Creatures 3 games. There's a variety of different breeds. Creatures 3 that I originally played only came with 3 different breeds, I believe, but as you can see we've got a variety here. So I'll just cycle through the different options and then have the machine lay one girl egg and one boy egg, and then I can drag and drop it into the incubator. Now we can see our first Norn has hatched. I will call him Alex. He's already grabbed some cheese, and now I'll just put the female egg in the incubator as well. We can give them toys and things to interact with. The little green arrow on top of an item indicates what they're focused on. Let me just select her and then I can also give her a name. I see another Grendel has hatched. If you don't like them, you can drag them onto the bridge, and as you can see, as soon as something falls into the water pit, they get eaten, but for now I'm just going to export it out of the world. Heading back to our creatures, let's see what the Norns are up to. I'll give them some more cheese. When they're born, they only speak Norn gibberish, but as they interact with the world, they can actually learn English. I should probably take some food for the Ettins as well, but I think I'm going to export them out of the world for now as we focus on the Norns. Using the chaos commands we can teach them English so that I can interact and command them. All of the creatures within the game have complex biochemistry and a neural network, so think of this as AI from 1999. I'll have the egg layer dispense a few different breeds. I see another Ettin has been born. This happened because I exported the other 2 out of the world. By default, the world always tries to have a balance of 2 Ettins and 2 Grendels. So I'm going to head over to the agent machine and then I'm going to import this agent. This will allow me to stop the functionality where it automatically dispenses 2 eggs for the Ettins and 2 Grendel eggs. We can see this one looks a bit different to the previous one, but if I export them now, they will not come back into the world. You can see as soon as I drop her, her ears sort of fold forward. This means she's sad or she was slightly injured. If we take her to the medical bay, we should be able to see if the injury was severe and if anything has registered. We can see that injury level is on 0, so that means she wasn't hurt during the fall. We can induce injury, so if you spank a Norn too much, that should also gradually introduce some injury, but spanking them too much can actually cause them to die. So now here we can see that she's died, and the body will just disappear into a purple and gold cloud. We can go back to the Norn terrarium, and here I'm going to just lay an egg to replace her. And then if we head over to the graveyard, I can choose to register her death, explain why she has died, and then I can review this at a later stage in the tombstone. This will be relevant if you plan on having a lot of generations of different Norns. Let's just give her a name. Using the chaos command, you can also force them to age. Let's just grab them some toys. And I'll also get them some food. The world is dynamic, so you can see the apples turn from flowers, it turns into apples, the birds will actually lay eggs in the nests, so the whole world is very much alive. The world is a bit unbalanced though, so as you play the game you will notice that eventually the worlds become a bit unstable. Some of the critters will die off, but this is just because the world itself is not entirely balanced. It's not a fully self-supporting ecosystem. So here we can see that the fish population has grown. So now I can put some of these into the ocean, and we can see on the jellyfish side there is nothing, and then as soon as I introduce the fish, they start to grab them and eat them. And naturally you can also control the other life forms, so I can pick up a jellyfish, put it on the beach, and then it will just die. If I grab the fish, I can put it back in the water and it'll keep on living. I can move the camera around for observation into the room. On the main ship deck, I can see that I've moved the camera, so the display is updated, and clicking on the green icon takes me into where the camera is. Each creature has a unique biochemistry and neural network that controls its behavior. These can be modified by the breeder and neurological kit, but this will come in later episodes. For now, we'll just play around with the normal day-to-day creature lives. So I'm going to age them up a bit, and you will see that he has now increased in size a bit compared to her, and now he's in adolescence. As time passes in the game, this is how they age. I do believe that normal Norn lifespans are around 2 hours, but I could be mistaken. For this command, you should be very careful, because if you, for example, age the Norn with 10, they will cycle through the life stages and effectively die within 30 seconds. So I'm just going to make sure that I've selected her, and then I will age her up some more. I like it when they sit and face towards you because they're very cute. Let's just move them over here out of the rain. There's a bit of shelter here. Usually around the adolescence or adult phase, they can breed as well. So this is usually indicated by a long kissing sound followed by a popping sound. The cool thing about creatures is that since you can control everything, I can also take her to the medical bay and inject both of them with arousal potential. This will put them in the mood for breeding. I can see here arousal potential is there, but it's not at 100 yet. So I can cycle through the different injections to find arousal potential chemical and inject her with that. There's a lot of different kinds of injections, and I always recommend reading up online what these are for before injecting them into your creatures, because some of them can cause instant death. Let's also just take him to the medical bay and inject him with the same arousal potential. So now they should definitely be interested in breeding. We can hear the kissing start already. And that's the sound that you want to hear. 2 eggs means that she is pregnant with twins, so she will lay 2 eggs when the time comes. And you can see if a Norn is pregnant either by clicking the little 2 egg icon in the top left hand corner, or you can see her stomach is starting to grow. It's important to keep them warm and well fed while they're pregnant. While we wait for her to lay her eggs, I'll just again show how interactive the world is. So if I click on the beehive, it releases bees, and they're really like children with their toys, always picking the noisy ones. I'll also generate some apples so that there's some more food lying around for them. We can see that she successfully laid her eggs. For now, I'm just quickly going to move the eggs into the inventory. We can also drop the eggs into the incubator so that they hatch a lot quicker, or you can leave them outside and they will also hatch after a few minutes. Usually after a Norn has laid eggs, I make sure that they have enough food, and we can see that her first baby has hatched. You can see the genetics, so some of the dad and some of the mom has been mixed in here, where she has the brown head and the orange body and the brown tail. Now we can also check her twin sister could either be identical or she could look completely different. It could also be a boy. So in this case, it seems that the genetics is almost the same, except for the back of the one is brown and the other one has the tiger stripe back. We'll give them each a name. In the genetic information, which will be important later, we can see here her mom and dad, so clicking on these icons will take you to the mom and dad in the world. Let's put them outside and give them some food. Here we can see the mom and dad and the genetic markers as well. I'll generate some cough syrup because I hear they've got a cough, and maybe just some vitamins and a few other useful potions as well. I can just put these down in the world and they will drink them. Alternatively, I can also tell them to drink them. I'll just take this away because the sound is a bit obnoxious. I also just quickly want to check what this agent is used for. So that means that because it was triggering and making a sound, that they're sick. So we can see that she has some injury and histamine B. So we can find the corresponding antihistamine. I'll inject her with some vitamin C. Apparently that's good for colds and flu. And then I'll also inject her with antihistamine, and we can see that immediately it'll start dropping. There's also alcohol detected in her system. And I will inject her with life. So this is more of a, it's not actual medicine, but this is for the markers that control their lifespan. So if we go to the graph now, we can see in her biology that her life should be at 100%. If I take him into the medical bay now, since he's not had the injection but has aged, you will see that his lifespan is less than hers. This is what determines them aging and how they will eventually die. So technically, if you bring your Norn here every 10 to 15 minutes and you just keep on injecting them with life, it's not that they will live forever, but you can greatly extend their lifespan. I'm also going to inject him with antihistamine, and that should gradually then lower his injury level. You can see by the folded ears that that sort of indicates he's not feeling that great, but now it should start to pick up a bit. I'll just take her back to the main world as well. The little ones are playing. They haven't really figured out how to activate the elevator just yet. And this is also a fun thing. When you leave them in the world, they will start to learn on their own what to do, where to go, what to eat, what to avoid. That was a quick look into playing with the Norns and some general day-to-day activities. In the next episode, we'll focus on splicing and looking at the different genes and combinations that you can achieve by splicing different creatures, Ettins and Norns together.